Hey guys, hope you are doing well today. In this video, we are going to be talking about 2v2 fundamentals. What I mean by that is we're going to be talking about the different roles you have in a 2v2 game in Rocket League and essentially how you're meant to be playing twos, especially as you get to the higher ranks. You're kind of expected to know this knowledge. So I've got a checklist of what we're going to be going through today. First of all, um, I'm just going to explain. So I'll talk about my Discord, and then a quick disclaimer about where I am, how long I've been playing for, talk about game sense and mechanics and the kind of balance between them that you need to improve. We'll then get into the main bit, which is talking about the fundamentals. So I'm going to have a separate notepad, and I'm essentially just going to write down the roles of first and second man, both on offense and defense. That's essentially going to give you all the knowledge you need to know about the roles in 2v2. We're then going to do a quick replay analysis. It's just a completely random game I have saved, and I'm just going to try break down in game what we've been talking about. But that's kind of optional. The main bit is me talking about the fundamentals. So let's start from the top. So Discord. Yesterday I started a Discord server. It's basically got no one in it right now, and I'm just essentially going to promote it on my YouTube, probably every video at the start of it. And what I've got written down is advice, coaching, and fun. So, advice. This is going to be a server, somewhat serious for Rocket League. So, if you're looking to improve, climb up the ranks, then go ahead and join because hopefully we'll be having myself and other members of the community who are probably going to be better than me because I'm only champ 2 right now. So hopefully we get some, grand champs and, maybe even SSLs in. That'd be awesome to give you guys advice. You can ask any questions you want. You can even DM me and ask any questions. Coaching. This is mainly for lower ranks. So if you're, I don't know, anywhere below champ, I guess. So if you're diamond or below, then I'll be willing to do coaching with you. So we'll just hop in a call if you want to. Or if you don't want to speak, then you can send me some replays of yours and I can write some notes of them. Essentially, what I think you can improve on, what you're doing wrong, whether you've kind of got like a mechanical or game sense imbalance, and what I recommend doing to improve. And finally, fun. This is hopefully going to be a server where you can find people to play with, and beyond that, you can just chat about Rocket League, other games, or just whatever you want really, and um, have a good time. So feel free to join that. Hopefully, it gets good, and it should just be a fun place for us all to get better at the game. Next, we've got a disclaimer about me. So this is my situation on Rocket League. I used to play the game a long time ago and I played completely casually. I wasn't very good, but I loved the game. I came back about a month ago and I started taking it more seriously because um, I just really enjoyed improving both mechanics and game sense and climbing the ranks. I'm quite competitive. So, in about, I'd say, less than a month, I think about 3 weeks in counting, I've gone from essentially a gold playstyle, like rank, to champ 2. So, my goal for the near future, near/medium term, is to get to grand champ, and from there, push up to SSL if possible. So that's just this disclaimer about where I'm at. So if you're above me in rank, then you probably know pretty much everything I'm going to talk about. But it might be very helpful to, review the basics and offer any suggestions or advice, either of something I may have, perhaps got wrong, or, something which a preference you have, because that will definitely help, lower ranks in the comments and myself. So game sense/mechanical balance. So what do I mean by this? I mean that we can kind of categorize your path to improvement into two categories. Firstly, game sense. This is what the whole video today is about. It's about game sense specifically relating to 2v2. I can do like a 1v1 or a 3v3 video if you guys want, but I personally haven't really researched that. But if you guys want me to, then I can do my research. I can analyze pro players' games. I can watch educational content, and I can grind and practice and then put some videos out. But this is about 2v2 game sense. And I reckon that game sense can definitely help you. If you don't know what I'm about to talk about today in this video, and it's all completely new to you, then that means you've likely been playing on your intuition in the past. And I used to do it for a very, very long time. Basically, whenever I used to play before I started taking the game seriously, I used to just, think, oh, okay, I feel like this is where I should be, in position. Should I take that shot? It's all intuitive. You don't actually have like a guide to say, okay, I'm first man, I'm second man, we're on defense, I should be shadow defending. Oh, they're going up, I need to challenge. You kind of just play it by ear. So hopefully this video gives you rough guidelines on, where you should be, what you should be doing. And that way you can actually critique your own gameplay. You can go on your own reviews and you can see, I made a mistake here, or okay, this was my teammate's mistake. Obviously I don't encourage you blaming your teammates, but this will allow you to see when, perhaps it wasn't your fault. You did your job correctly and your teammate perhaps, um your teammate made the mistake, because there's no point in trying to change the way you're playing when you're playing right. Okay. And okay, let's get to this quickly. What I mean by this is, I reckon, say you're like gold or plat. I reckon if you don't have game sense yet, this will be able to take you up to at least probably 2 or 3 divisions, provided you play consistently for like a week or so and actually improve the fundamentals. But if you want to improve long term, then you have to improve both your game sense and your mechanics. You don't see an SSL with very, very good game sense but very bad mechanics. It just doesn't happen. So I've got other videos on my channel about my progress, how I'm improving my mechanics. I think so far we've talked about aerial car control, so go watch that video if you want to. It will be very helpful, and I'll be posting more about mechanics in later videos, but this is today just about game sense. So now we're on to it, fundamentals, and I'm going to get a separate notepad out here so that I can write down about what I'm going to talk about. So, oh, I cannot write. So, fundamentals. You probably heard this by now, but you have 2 men in Rocket League. Or, well, you have first man and second man. That's kind of what people call it. We're going to break down 4 roles that you have. These, obviously, you have, scenario specific situations in which the rules might be broken, but generally you can break down the game into 4 roles that you'll have. Firstly, you'll be first man on attack, or you might be second man also on attack. You might also be first man, guess what? Yep, on defense. Or you might be, yep, you guessed it, second man on defense. These are the 4 basic rules that we're going to be talking about. If you're below champ, there's no point in overcomplicating things. You don't need to know about, I'm sure SSLs have more knowledge about what to do in certain situations, but this is generally the fundamentals. So, how do you tell if you're first man or second man, either on attack or defense? It's pretty simple. The first man is always going to be closest to either the ball or further up the pitch. So you should be able to tell in most situations if you or your teammate are closer to the ball and the opponent's net, or to your net, behind the first man. It will probably make more sense once we get into my replay, because you can like visualize it better. But hopefully that makes sense. You should generally be able to tell if you're first or second man. So, first man on attack. We've got two situations. You've got a situation where you have two defenders, and you have a situation where you have one defender. What I mean by this is, if you have control of the ball, say it's on the top of your car, or you've got a shooting opportunity, or you're going up the wall, if the two opponents are both in front of you, i.e. between you, the ball, and the enemy's goal, or the opponent's goal, that means they have two men on defense. Your job as first man on attack, i.e. you have the ball, you have control, is simply to get it past the first man, the first defender. Okay. How you can do this is up to you. It could be a flick, it could be dribbling, it could be an aerial, it could be simply outpacing your opponent. Even better would be a situation if you get it past the first man and retain control of the ball. So say you get it past the first man and you're still in control of the ball. You didn't lose possession almost to get it by him. That would essentially lead you into a situation where you are against one defender. So, what is your objective if it's a 1-on-1? Simple. You have to score. That's it. So, if it's two men on defense, get it past the first one. Why? Because this means first scenario is if you get it past the first one and you retain control, that means that it's a 1-on-1 and you can shoot. Or secondly, it means if you get it past one, your teammate might see an opportunity where they can either dive challenge, take it under control, demo, etc. That's the simple strategy I like to use. If you're, i.e. if there are two opponents in front of you, don't try score, just try get it past the first one. And if you can, retain control for a shot or a flick, air dribble, flip reset, anything you want. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, second man on attack. Now this is extremely important for you lower ranks, because if you are second man on attack, you should play behind your teammate if there are two defenders. Okay, so play behind. Yes, you've heard that, Golds. Play behind first man. Okay. This is to cover his weakness. What's his weakness? Most likely it's your net. Okay. So what I mean by this is, if your first man has control of the ball, as much as you might, think, oh, I should get into a spot where he can pass it to me, or okay, let me go up with him. No, don't do that. Unless you're speaking to each other, it may be a bit different. Okay. But generally speaking, if there are two defenders and your first man is on attack and your second man at this point, you should cover his weakness. This means you need to stay back behind him and you need to cover the goal. I'm not saying sit in the goal. Just be in a situation where if a 50-50 happens or the opponent somehow beats your teammate and gets a shot off, you're in a position where, knowing your own mechanical skill, you can recover and you can save a power shot. Okay, that's my general, idea. So let's add to this. Predict 50-50s and prepare for worst case scenario, i.e. the ball goes to your net. Next, if one defender, so if your teammate has a ball, say on top of their car or they're dribbling, and you notice there's only one defender in net or, in shadow defending or in a position to save the ball, this is where you can either demo or play behind your teammate, your first man. So you have to make a kind of judgment call based on the situation. Is it a demo play? Do you have time to go up for it? Is your opponent in a position where you can demo them? Is the ball fully under your teammate's control where he can take a shot and not, just miss and let them counterattack? So I'm not saying go for a demo all the time, but it can be a very good strategy. And trust me, it's a way to get easy goals. Because even if you don't get the demo, if your opponent sees you coming for the demo, that sends signals to their brain that is essentially telling them to either jump, get out of the ball, or just take their attention off your teammate and look at you. Okay? So a demo can be a great play. Or if you're wanting to be safe, stay behind your first man and prepare for the worst case scenario, i.e. a shot on your goal. So that's attacking. Defending can be a bit more complicated at times. Okay, so we're going to take the same two situations. So if your teammate is behind you, so essentially you and your teammate are both on defense, the opponents have the ball coming towards you, and you're closer to the ball and the opponent. This means you're first man on defense. What are your options? You want to make opponent... I think I spelled that right. I mean wrong, sorry. Lose control. How can you do this? You can challenge, i.e. 50-50, or beat them to the ball. This is good if, for example, they take a touch and you see that, oh, you can beat them to the ball. Great, go for it, challenge it, because you're first man. You need to essentially make your opponent lose control or get control of it yourself or hit the ball in some way to relieve your team of pressure. So you need to beat them to the... that's one option, beat them to the ball. You can challenge 50-50. Make sure you actually hit the ball. Don't go flying, because that's what you don't want to do, is dive challenge and end up in your opponent's net, leaving your teammate in a 2 versus 1 situation. Another option is to fake. Okay. These can be very good. Make sure you actually do a good fake. That kind of depends on the situation though. Final situation is if the opponent, this will probably be in higher ranks, by the way, probably not, gold, plat, probably diamond or above. If opponent goes up for air dribble or wall, what's it called? Wall to air something, I don't know. Or ceiling shot, etc. You need to pre-jump and meet them in air. Okay. Hopefully in our replay we see this at least once. I don't know if we do. It's just a random replay I took. I don't want to get like a insanely good or bad one, just an average one. If you're below plat, then you're not going to see people taking control of a ball in the air. Hopefully. Okay. If your teammate is out of position, this means that if you are the last man back and your teammate somehow overcommitted or for some reason is, as always seems to happen, on the other side of the pitch, needing to recover and get back to net, you're on a 1-on-1 or a 1-on-2, which is bad. Your primary objective is to buy time for your teammate, okay? Or save the ball. Save the shot, let's say. What I mean by this is to buy time for your teammate, you need to essentially try and stall your opponents to allow your teammate to get back behind you so he becomes second man. Because having a second man essentially makes defense a hell of a lot easier, because it's not just like here, they try get it past the first man and then the second man can usually clear the ball, save the ball, do whatever, take it under control. So if your teammate's out of position, you need to buy time for your teammate to get back. How can you do this? Shadow defense. Okay, you should be hopefully improving your shallow defense as you just generally play. If you don't know how to do this, I'll probably make a video on this next, because this is very important. Fundamentals of, let's say, defending. And shallow defending is the backbone of defense. You can also challenge if you are, let's say, not 100%, but let's say confident the outcome will buy time. What I mean by this is either if you challenge and let's say challenge slash 50-50. What I mean by this is if you think you can challenge and first of all beat the opponent to the ball and clear the ball, that is the best way to buy time for your teammate. Or you can 50-50 and hope that the ball essentially either goes up in the air or gets hit back, or it stalls your opponent to allow your teammate to get back. Last, you can fake challenge to try and make your opponent lose control of the ball by flicking, shooting, or just getting scared. And finally, you can save the shot if they take one. There. That is first man on defense if your teammate is out of position. Second man on defense. There is only one option here. You can't physically be a second man on defense with your teammate not being there, if that makes sense. So your teammate's going to be in front of you if you're second man on defense. That's logical. Okay. You want to wait for your first man to challenge, fake, etc. And while you wait, you need to cover his weakness. What I mean by this is cover the goal. Okay. You don't need to be in the goal. If they're close to your goal, yeah, it might be good to be sitting in the goal. But, as long as you've got the goal covered, then you're good. You don't need to be waiting in the goal. But a good tip I have is if the opponents are in one of your corners, which happens a lot. Trust me, you'll notice a lot of the time you're defending and your opponents have taken the ball into your corner. And your teammate is in front of you, challenging the ball. Don't be up with them. A great position you can be in is back post. Okay, so play back post if they're in your corner. That's kind of a situational one, but I'd say it fits into the fundamentals because it's such a common occurrence that playing back post can be a great thing to do. Okay, what else can you do? You can save the shot. If your first man challenges, say fake challenges or 50-50s, or is doing something, and the opponent loses control of the ball by, say, flicking or shooting or doing something, that should hopefully make you be in a position to jump or not jump if the ball's on the ground, and just save the shot. Okay, so your teammate has done a good job if he forces the opponent to just take a blind shot, which you can save. That's essentially job well done. So that's all you need to do. You just need to cover your first man's weakness by essentially making sure if the opponents do shoot, you can save the ball. Okay, I think that's all I've got to say. I may have missed something. Hopefully that should have given you guys a better understanding. I don't know if there's a way to see how long this has been, but we're going to get finally into the replay review. So like I said, this bit is kind of optional for you to watch. If you watched and understood what I said before, then there's really no need to watch me go through this review. But if you feel like you want to watch this, then good on you. So we'll watch me, but this isn't like focused on me. This is kind of focused on the game and the roles. I don't know how I played in this game. I think we won by 1 goal, so probably not amazingly. I think I'm going to use this mode, flying around, so you can clearly see what's going on. So we've got kickoff to start. Simple, simple, simple. Here, our teammate, what's going on here? Our teammate here, let's have a look. Because this is a very good example. The ball comes here. I go for the boost. This is a glitch, by the way, the boost is there. And it's essentially a 2-on-1 on defense for him. My teammate has boost, and he can see that one of the opponents is already up for the ball. So what are his options here? Firstly, he could move this way and kind of anticipate the shot and jump up and stop the ball. Or if he thinks he can either beat the opponent to the ball or challenge the ball, i.e. 50-50, then it would be a good option for him to go up. Essentially because he's last man on defense with me not behind him. So his objective now is to stall the opponents and allow me to get back around and become second man. So yep, it looks like he does a good choice. He goes up for a 50 and he does well. Yep. So some of you might be like, oh, that's a bad 50 because the ball's heading this way. It's not. It's actually a wonderful 50 because it buys me time. This is me, by the way, Jack J, to come back and become second man. Here, I see my teammate going for that boost. That means he is first man because he's closer to the ball and I'm essentially behind him and the net. I don't know what I do here, but a good option would have been for me to come back post and play here to cover his weakness. Not bad what I'm doing. I think my logic here would be, that I can cover the net. I'm essentially covering the net because if he were to shoot, I could have just jumped up and saved it. So not a bad play from me. Here I see that I have a chance to sort of either clear the ball or take it under my control and allow my teammate to become second man. So it looks like I try to take it under control. My teammate here decides to push up. Is that the best decision from him? Probably not. Then again, we don't know what his perspective looked like and what was going through his mind. In this situation, as me, I just have to think, okay, I'm second man. Let's just let our teammate, attack. So we're attacking. Not a great attack or perspective attack because our teammate has no boost. And I'm second man, so I don't want to get, too close. Here, I predict the 50. You can see here, so I follow my teammate up. I can kind of see there's not really a threat on goal because my teammate, there's no shooting opportunity for the opponents because my teammate, the best they can do is 50. And I'm kind of confident that my teammate being right behind the ball isn't going to lose a 50 so bad or be so unlucky that it's going to bang right into my net. So I'm here. You can see I see the 50 coming. So I turn. I'm prepared for what's going to happen. From my perspective, I think the ball is either going to head up left. Head up that way. That's what I think is going to happen. And it sort of does. Not exactly as I hoped. Interesting to see what I'll do here. Our teammate is still technically on attack as first man. But yeah, the ball's going straight to the opponent, so there's no... it's under his control now. Interesting move for my teammate to go for their boost. Is it a good play? I'd say no, personally. If I was him, well, I'm not him, but I'd like to see him rotate back and become second man. Because this leaves us in essentially a counter-attack. Where if this is like a really good player, he can control the ball. And it's suddenly a 2-on-1 situation. They've both got max boost. And my teammate is all the way back here. And he hasn't really disturbed anything by taking that boost. They don't need it. So, they're attacking. I'm last man back at this point. Our teammate, we have to think, back to the fundamentals. He's out of position. So what's our objective here? We have to either stall or save. So we're going to try and stall the ball somehow. Looks like they take a good power shot. Okay, and I'm just slightly too far close to them. Yep. That's a mistake by me. that was both a mistake by both me and my teammate there. Because imagine if my teammate didn't go for that boost and he rotated behind me. That's the easiest save I've ever seen. But I'm not sure if perhaps I thought he was behind me or I just got, caught up and got too close and didn't expect the shot. But both of us played that wrong. Okay, here. Teammate is on a defensive last man. 2 versus 1. I'm trying to rotate back quickly, probably going to try get that boost and become second man. Our teammate takes it under control. Very nice from him. Now, counterattack. There's 1 man back. What's the objective of our teammate? To score. So he could go up the wall, he could take it under his dribble, he could put it on the top of his car and flick. His objective is to score the ball. My objective here, either go for the demo or stay back and watch his weakness. So let's just watch what happens. Looks like he tries to take it under control, get it on top of his car. Yep, still 2-on-1. This would be a great opportunity for me to bump. Looks like I do go for the bump. And I get it. There we go. Like I was saying earlier, probably the easiest way to score in the game. So let's look from my perspective just to see what I saw. Okay, he's overcommitted. Suddenly it's a 2-on-1. So I know bump, bump, bump. If it's a good opportunity, I can go for the demo. I think it is. Easy. He's right in my crosshair. There. Nothing he can do about it. He could jump, but if he jumped, he wouldn't be able to save it. So, wonderful. Great job from both of us. We both did our jobs. Okay. So I think I have time, so I go back, get the boost. He fakes me, and I fake him. It's like a double fake. Okay, interesting. Okay. Opponents probably going to just 50-50 this ball or challenge it because he's got momentum and I can't really do much. Yep, so that was good by him. Our teammate does a wonderful job of taking a 50 to stall. Yep, so here he knows that he could just wait in defense, but that's going to give them too much time. And very good choice for him to go up. Take a 50, buy time for me to come back, become second man if I needed to. But the 50 goes well. And it allows me to go straight to the ball. Here, he beats me slightly. Where is everybody? Oh, okay. What is he doing over there? Okay, so he... Interesting. I think this is a very important thing to note. Don't assume that your teammates are going to be like a god level player. Okay? What I think we did cover this actually is if you're second man on offense, which he is because I'm first man, I've got control of the ball, you might be tempted to get into a position where they can pass it to you. I think that's what he does here. He's like, okay, I think my teammate's gonna somehow get it over here and I can support him or get like a shot from a pass. Never assume that unless you're in like a voice call and your teammate can clearly say, I've got control, I can pass it to you. It's always best to rotate back and cover their weakness as second man. So a mistake from my teammate here, leaving me in a 2-on-1. I'm last man back and it's a 1-on-1. So what's my objective? Stall for my teammate or save the ball? He takes a shot, easy save for me. Luckily that wasn't a great counter-attack. They could have probably made more of that. Okay, very nice challenge by him. So I'm going to probably rotate back behind my teammate and become second man. Yep, exactly what I do. My teammate, I think, mistouches the ball. If that's the thing, mistouches, mishits. Yeah, so he misses. My perspective here, I see this guy is jumping. I hear him jumping. I see him in my peripheral vision. And I'm like, okay, my teammate can't save this because of the awkward angle. I need to just jump up. Yep, that's what I do. My teammate went up as well. But to be honest, it's a good thing I cleared it because it gets it to our corner. Okay, I'm first man here. Okay, I get it by 1. Very nice by me. This is a 2-on-1. Looks like the opponent sees this, and it does look like he might be able to... Well, he is jumped. So it looks like he might be able to get up to this before me. And he does. Luckily, it wasn't a shot on net. I'd say my teammate should have been slightly better positioned for that to happen. I.e., you see this guy is a threat, and you turn around immediately. And probably not this way. Probably best to go this way. Okay? Because if this was a shot on net, and it came here, my teammate, if he had turned this way, easy save. But because he turned that way, not such an easy save. So that's something I'm noting for my teammate. If I was this guy and I was watching the replay back, I'd note to myself that's twice where I've assumed my teammate, me in this situation, is going to somehow beat it past the opponent. Don't assume for the best, assume for the worst, especially on defense. Okay. He gets demoed. And I demo him. Okay. So it's a 1-on-1. Well, technically not, because let's think about it. Their teammate is going to respawn and become second man. So it's a 2-on-1 technically. He challenges. Good job. And I think here... So here I'm first man, right? And I take it up. But I think I tried to get it over him. But he goes up nicely. Okay, I turn off ball cam to see where my teammate is. And I see he's there. And I'm like, okay, he's got a great position. He can take the ball under control because the opponent is nowhere near the ball at this point. So I clearly signal to him that I'm going to be rotating back and allowing him to become first man. How I do that is by clearly driving away from the ball. Okay? Like this. Okay? Clearly signaling to him that he has free reign of the ball. Let's see what it looks like for him. Yep. See how I just drive back. This point, some of you might just, stay under the ball. And yeah, I'm not saying that's wrong. But it is often good to see where your teammate is, and if they have plenty of time, clearly show to them that you're rotating back, like I did there. He, without a doubt, knows that he is first man on attack, and I am second man behind him. And he's free to do what he wants, so he goes for a flip reset. Nothing comes of it. Okay. So now he's out of position, and it's a 2-on-1. What's my job here? I need to save the shot or stall. Looks like I saved the shot. Good job. My teammate should have bought my teammate time to come back and become second man. Here I make another save, and he's second man. Great positioning by him. Wonderful positioning. Why do I say that? Because when we were talking about the fundamentals, I said when it's in your corner, back post is a wonderful spot to play. That's because if your teammate... what I see lots of people do is come drive right up by my teammate, me in this situation, and then the ball just gets shot behind them, and no one can save it. If you're here, perfect positioning, he can double jump and stop it, even if it's a really good shot, okay? Looks like I take possession, and he goes for the challenge. Okay. We both go up for it. I'm trying to stall for him, and I do. Get a good 50, allowing my teammate to come back and become second man. I'm out of position, though. Thankfully, not too out of position. So here, what do? I'm hoping I go back post. Okay, no need because it comes center play. My teammate's still first man. He gets a good challenge, so I can push up with him. Get a demo. Here, I don't see any opportunity for them to somehow shoot on our net. At all. There's no opportunity, so I'm fine here. There's no need for me to be, back here. Okay? Here, I start turning round, and I see my teammate's gone. Okay, so he's going to go there, try get that boost, and rotate back. So I'm first man now. Okay, and I try shoot. They say that I should rotate back now. Go straight back. Okay, we get a bit mixed up here. I think I should have gone followed these boost pads, because yes, he was first man, so I expected him to go up maybe, but by no means did he have to. So I think that's a mistake on my part. I'm following him. That is a bad mistake. I should be a bit away from him. Okay, my teammate gets it. I have time to go for boost. And it's a 1-on-1. No, yeah, 1-on-1. Now it's a 1-on-2. A lot of people here, in my situation, would have just gone and hit the ball. There's no point in doing that, because what's going to happen if I do that? It's going to bounce against that wall, land here, and it's a counter-attack. So I make the right choice, just turning back. Stay second man. Again here, I could have done the same. I could have been like, oh, open goal, he's passing it to me. Which probably was his intention to pass it. But I see that this guy is way closer to the ball than me. He'll beat me to it. It's going to clear somewhere up here, if not in our goal. So I'm like, okay, I think I should... Right now, I don't know if I do this, but I'd probably turn left and guard a clear. Exactly what I do. Wonderful. Because imagine if that had gone on net. You have to protect your first man's weakness. And that's the net most of the time. So I would have been prepared to jump up and stop any ball on net. So great positioning by me. What goes on now? Okay. Teammate is coming back post. So I'm first man. Okay, I make a good play. Fly it by 1. And now it's a 1-on-2. So I need to get it by 1 of them. I have no boost. Okay, my teammate sees a good opportunity. Okay, we're a bit muddled up here. I think one of us needed to go back. Perhaps here, he should have seen that I'm, not willingly up there, but I am there first man. So he needs to be very careful committing, because if the ball somehow 50s and goes there, then they can score. So if I was him, I'd go straight back and, hover around here until I can make it back myself. Which he does, but then he stops. He's like, oh, I can hit this. Which is wrong for him, because technically I am still first man here. Okay. Perhaps you could have said, I should have gone that way, but in my eyes, I was still first man. And he should have, although he's in his perspective, he's like, okay, I've got a clear, better angle than my teammate. I should take it off him. Still best to just rotate back and let your teammate, even though the chances of me scoring here are minimal, very close to 0, still, that's fine. Rotate back. And it ends up in quite a sticky situation. Luckily, my teammate does well there to 50, stall time for me to get back. I go all the way back. Not a bad choice. Here. I'm here. Let's see what I do. Play it into the corner, take it under control. My teammate again here. Should have seen that I'm first man. But, it doesn't matter from your perspective if you're like, oh, my teammate should have seen I was first man. It doesn't matter. If you're at this point, I see my teammates on the ball. So I'm like, okay, you're first man now. It doesn't matter how we got to this situation. This is a solo queue. So, I'm not going to try to teach fundamentals to my teammate. He clearly knows it because he's been playing quite well the whole game. But here I just need to play here and now. He's got the ball. Time for me to rotate back, as I do. He goes for something. Again, I turn back, preparing for the shot. So now it's a 2-on-1. So my objective is to stall or save the ball. And great, I buy us time, so my teammate is back in defense. Kind of a weird ball. Good save. I dive here. Interesting. But I kind of had to, because if I had just stuck here, he has the easiest shot of placing it wherever he wants. And that's a goal for them. So I'm here and I'm like, oh, I need to challenge this ball. So I come, and as you can see here, if he had shot, on target, my body is covering a lot of the net. Even if he had tried to, I suppose if it had gone here, top net, he might have scored, but even my momentum is coming this way, so it might have stopped it. Pretty much the whole of net is covered by me. He misses the ball, so that's why I didn't hit it myself. Now it's a counter-attack. Now it's their counter-attack. And I play it to our corner. Nice. I see my teammate's first man. So I'm covering our weakness. I probably have time to go for boost. As I do, I buy time. Okay. Here, I play it into their corner. I'm first man. They make a good challenge. Now my teammate is last man back technically. And they get a goal. So what happens here? From my perspective, it's simply a mechanical mistake from me. That's it. He's first man. Yeah, fair enough. He couldn't really do much. I'm last man back. And I see he's gone up for it. So I'm like, okay, I need to jump to prepare. From my perspective, you know, that might have been like a shot. So I'm already up for it, kind of. And I simply just missed the ball. Say I had say I had hit the ball, then I would have done my job correctly because it would have gone here and my teammate comes back behind me. That's simply a mechanical failure. You know, next time I'm in that situation, I'll be able to play slightly better because I've experienced it before. So mechanics like that you just learn over time of playing. So that was a mechanical failure from me that caused that goal. It wasn't a game sense. Also, teammate goes for boost. I'd recommend always cheating up behind your teammate. Teammate's first man. Okay, counter-attack, 2 versus 1. I'm last man back. I go up for it because I see I can go for it. And good, I stalled effectively for my teammate to come back. He comes all the way back for boost. Not a great, but not a bad decision. I would have personally just collected the minis and then, you know, been for shadow defense here already because you know that I'm demoed and I'm able to be back. But it looks like I got the boost, so I'm first man, so I need to buy time for my teammate. And it looks like the opponent is going up for an air dribble, so I go up to meet it quickly, shut that stuff down real quick. And I do it. I get a good challenge. I'm still first man. My teammate pushes up. Good. Here. I'm not going to get mad at my teammate there. And I make a save. Now it's my teammate's ball. It looks like I should come back. Looks like I didn't have any boosts, so I'm just jumping to pre-jump. Same with him. This is sticky. I save it, luckily. And I go for boost, and we're reset. Let's see what happens. Okay, they demo my teammate. So it's a 2-on-2. And my objective here, I have time, so I go up the wall. Not a very good bounce. Ideally, well, most freestylers know that the ideal situation if it comes slowly up, or well, not slowly, but it actually rolls against the wall. But I think it bounces here, just because of the momentum the ball had. Yeah. But I still go up for it.
30 seconds left on the...
Get a flip reset. Don't land it, but they both... I think they get faked because they thought that I would have done better with that. So it's a good thing I messed that up. Okay. So it's a 2-on-1. My objective, what is it? You can probably guess. Stall for my teammate to get back. So I hit it, clear it. That gives time for my teammate. Teammate's going up. Fair play. I see I'm second man. He misses. That's a mechanical mistake. I'm not going to flame at him because that wasn't a game sense mistake. That was purely mechanical. Oops, sorry. Here, I'm first man defense, so I need to try challenge and take it under control perhaps. I have no boost, so it's kind of hard to do. Yeah, kind of just sticky. And now I'm trying to rotate back here. Okay. I think I'm going to stop it here because I don't know how long I've been recording for, but it feels like a very long time. And I don't want this to be a crazy long video. Also, my head is hurting for some reason. I think I need to go eat. Let's just review the goal. Okay. Where's their teammate? There. So I have time. Go up for it. And my teammate. Wonderful shot. Good job. Yep. I think that's all I'm going to do today. I could have done another replay, but I think because I explained so much, a 5-minute replay essentially turns into like a 20-minute replay. So yeah, I'm going to stop it there. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or advice. That would be wonderful as well. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Let me know what I should do next. I think I'm going to do some type of like defending video. But I hope you enjoyed and it helped you out. So have a great rest of your day and I hope to see you back soon. Thanks for watching.